Excuse me, may I help you clear this mess?
Oh, no. We can't afford to pay you, son.
Thank you, but we're just worried about the city notice. Don't worry, I'm doing this for free today.
For free?
That's the kindest thing we've heard.
You're a blessing. Thank you so much.
As I cut the engine on my trimmer and the heavy silence of the Texas desert once again descended upon the yard. The immediate sense of relief in the air was palpable, yet it was the hollow exhaustion etched into John's features that truly stopped me in my tracks. Seeing him stand there, an 83-year-old retired history teacher who had spent decades shaping young minds, now physically bent and relying heavily on a simple wooden cane, I realized that for him and Lisa, a $3,000 city fine wasn't just a bill. It was a heartless threat to the sanctuary they had called home for 45 years. John had once possessed a voice that commanded a classroom, but now his body was betraying him, and his trembling hand, which should have been free to hold a book, instead clutched a final notice, a piece of paper that was suffocating his pride, and replacing his golden years with the dark clouds of legal fear. Since Lisa, a former librarian with a heart as vast as the open range, had begun to struggle with a progressive tremor, the vibrant garden they once nurtured together had turned into a chaotic sea of knee-high desert weeds that were slowly devouring their memories and the very identity of the home they built. Lisa stood close to John, her first instinct being to refuse help she thought they couldn't afford. But when I looked into her gentle eyes, I saw a profound fear of displacement and the silent grief of losing the battle against physical decline. When I told them I was helping neighbors for free, I saw that crushing burden momentarily lifted, replaced by a tearful wonder that kindness still existed outside of code violations. I worked through the intense afternoon heat. I focused first on the jagged edges of the concrete walkway, where the weeds had become so thick they completely obscured the path they needed to safely reach their front door. With every slice of the blade, the true form of their home was restored, a process that paralleled the reclaiming of their dignity. John watched from the shaded patio, nodding softly with every patch of grass that fell, his eyes glistening with unshed tears that held a lifetime of unvoiced struggles and newfound hope. The transformation was not just physical. It was a restoration of their sanctuary and a validation that they still mattered to their community, so that they were not forgotten. Relics to be managed by bureaucracy. These weeds had been more than vegetation. They were visual proof of their powerlessness. But today we were turning back the clock and giving them their pride back. It raises a painful question about the values we hold in our modern neighborhoods, where we often prioritize property values and perfect lawns over the concrete well-being of our elderly residents. Is it morally justifiable for city governments to enforce massive, cold-hearted fines on vulnerable seniors facing severe physical limitations? Or do you believe that rules must be enforced strictly across the board, regardless of a resident's age or tragic circumstances? I really want to hear your honest take on this in the comments below, as your perspective helps us understand how to better care for our elders. If you believe that we must prioritize human kindness over heartless enforcement, please hit that like button and share this story to help me reach more people facing this struggle alone. Your engagement allows me to keep finding people like John and Lisa and offering them a lifeline of hope and the preservation of their homes.